Well, viewers, to start off with, today we're talking about the Maratha reservation. Just as this issue, of course, seemed to have died down for the moment, veteran OBC leader and NCP minister Chhagan Bhujbal's latest remarks have really once again put the Shinde government in a very tough spot. The veteran minister has now come out in the opposition of blanket reservation to the Maratha community from other backward classes quota. Bhujbal has opposed the way Kunbi certificates were being given to Marathas and questioned the validity of the ancestral records of thousands of people as well. Now, the Maharashtra minister went on to allege a conspiracy here to finish off the OBC quota and blamed his own government for taking decisions that were making this possible. Now, meanwhile, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has suggested that Bhujbal should refrain from causing confusion within the OBC community. Now, the Maharashtra Chief Minister has also reiterated here that the state's promise of lasting reservation for the Maratha community without really adversely affecting the existing reservation for the OBC community. So let's take a look at first some of the reactions that are coming in.
जब हमको जो है यह आरक्षण दिया गया, शरद पवार मुख्यमंत्री थे तब 250 जातियाँ उसमें थे, अब 350 जातियाँ हैं। हमने किसी को ना नहीं बोला कि भाई जाओ, आयोग बैठा है, तुम इसमें आ सकते हो, कानून से बताओ, आ जाओ। आए, हमने कहा ना कहा, मगर इसी ढंग से हमने कहा भाई कुंभी तो ठीक है, देखो, मगर हम देख रहे हैं कि सारे महाराष्ट्र में जो चक्कर चलाया है कि एक साथ जितने भी लोग जो है आरक्षण जो कुंभी का सर्टिफिकेट मांगेंगे, जो भी मराठा समाज का, उसको दे दो। मैं मराठा समाज के विरोध में नहीं हूँ, मैं इतना ही कह रहा हूँ कि अलग से तुम उनको आरक्षण दे दो, इसमें मत बिठाओ, इसमें बहुत भीड़ है और किसी को कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला।
सरकार करके जो भूमिका होनी चाहिए, सरकार ने अपना इस बारे में दोनों समूह को रास्ता निकालकर ये आपस में दोनों समाज नहीं लड़े और महाराष्ट्र में भी शांति का माहौल बना रहे, इसका प्रयास सरकार करना चाहिए। मैं ओबीसी का नेता करके मेरी भूमिका स्पष्ट है। मैं ओबीसी का अहित न होते हुए मराठा समाज को आरक्षण देना चाहिए, ओबीसी का नुकसान न करते हुए, और 50% जो मर्यादा है उसके ऊपर जो सरकार ने निर्णय लेना चाहिए वो निर्णय सरकार ने लेना चाहिए।
ऐसा कोई इशू गवर्नमेंट के सामने नहीं है। जो मराठा आरक्षण देने का डिसीजन कैबिनेट ने लिया उसमें ये तय किया गया है कि इतर कौन से भी समाज को, इतर कौन से भी जात को जो अभी अस्तित्व में आरक्षण है उसको कहा भी हम डिस्टर्ब नहीं करने वाले हैं। किसी और का निकाल के मराठा समाज को आरक्षण देने का बिल्कुल विचार सरकार का नहीं है। इसलिए ऐसा स्टेटमेंट करके भुजबल साहब संभ्रम निर्माण कर रहे हैं। मेरा यही कहना है, जो होने वाला ही नहीं है वो हो जाएगा ऐसा बता के मैंने वो रुकवाया।
Our Honorable CM and Honorable DCM has clearly announced that the OBC reservation will not be touched. When such important people who are head of the state declare like that, a member of the same cabinet should not say like this, because he was present during our cabinet, so he was aware that OBC reservation will not be touched. So nobody should have any doubt in the mind of OBC people.
Well, let's open this up. Krishna Hegde from the Shiv Sena joins us. He's from the Eknath Shinde camp. Asif Bhamla from the BJP is also with us. Rohit, senior journalist. Dr. Asha from the NCP Sharad Pawar camp is with us. Yogi Gade from the UBT Shiv Sena camp joining us. First, let's open this up and really try and decipher what each of them really think about this entire controversy. Mr. Krishna Hegde, now this issue of course is not a new one. It's come up once again. And how does the government plan to deal with this?
Well, Deepak, it is very clear. See, when Chhagan Bhujbal ji was a member of the assembly, every time when there was a unanimous consent for the Maratha reservation. So it's not that things have been hidden from him. He's a senior member of the cabinet as well. Also in the cabinet meeting, both the Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ji, and the Deputy Chief Ministers have categorically stated that we are for the Maratha reservation, but we will not touch the OBC reservation. This is a government which works. We want to work for all sections of society, and therefore, creating a controversy or saying such statements, I do not think it's in the best interest. We want to work for the prosperity and welfare of all the citizens of Maharashtra. However, the Honorable Chief Minister and the two Deputy Chief Ministers, who are the three heads of the coalition, will speak to Bhujbal Sahab as he is a senior minister of the cabinet, and we will address his concerns.
Will address the concerns, says, the Eknath Shinde camp. But meanwhile, from the government's perspective, will they actually do it, Mr. Yogi? What do you have to really say in response to that statement? Because they say now they're going to have a dialogue with him, but they say somewhere, he's not right in the kind of statements that he's making at this juncture.
Yes, the actually government, which is Shiv Sena, BJP and the NCP of Ajit Pawar faction, that has come together. There is definitely lacking of trust and among the CM and the cabinet ministers. Firstly, when there's a government, the cabinet ministers and the CM, they always have meetings regarding critical issues that is facing the state. And when they are in public against each other on the same issue, so there is definitely a rift within the government itself, which they need to clear out first. Because when cabinet ministers and the CM have meetings, they do discuss about important factors, and Maratha reservation or be it any other reason is an important aspect concerning the state. And when the cabinet ministers themselves are coming out in public and defending each other, so that says a lot. There is this government is unstable and there is no coordination between them, because it's become a khichdi sarkar, that is of NCP, Ajit Pawar Govt, Eknath Shinde Govt, and the BJP, which has come together. And definitely they should look to maintain law and order in the state, and whereas not make any misunderstandings between two communities or various communities for the law and order of the state.
Okay, so are you in agreement with the statement that Mr. Bhujbal made, or do you completely disagree? Because you're also talking about, this creating differences between two communities.
Yes, definitely. When the cabinet ministers are coming in open and giving statements against each other, there is definitely it's creating a rift between two communities, which is not healthy for a state to grow. And definitely the CM, all the three parties, there is definitely something not stable in this government. And when there is no trust, or when it's a khichdi sarkar, like all three parties have come together, it's a mess. And that's how the mess is coming out in public right now, because cabinet ministers and the CM do hold meetings regarding such issues. And when they are not on the same platform on this issue, so it really says there is a lack of coordination and trust within the three parties in the government, and it's not healthy for the state of Maharashtra. And this government really needs to look into the matter and come to a conclusion, because as you have seen, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, when he was in the opposition, he said it's just a matter of 2 days or a few days to give reservation. If you really want to give reservation, you should give it quickly. But last time 3 years, now 1.5 years, like 4.5 years yet, according for the reservation, they have not come up with a concrete plan. So what is the government really, are they serious about giving reservations to communities, or what is their stand on this is unclear. And their cabinet ministers coming out in public and giving different statements clearly states there is no coordination and there is lack of trust between them. And it is not healthy for the state of Maharashtra, definitely.
Okay, Mr. Asif Bhamla, when you have your allies, in fact, say something like what we just heard, does the BJP stand in agreement because you're an ally, or do you think that you want to take a different stand in a matter like this?
Well, you've given a lot of time to the UBT spokesperson, so please make sure that you give me also that much of time. Firstly, let me tell you, the intent of the government is very clear. It was Honorable Devendra Fadnavis ji, when he was the Chief Minister, he ensured that this was executed passed and smoothly sailed till the High Court, even till the extent of Supreme Court, we ensured. It was the policy paralysis of the MVA government, which by not submitting the required documents, lack of their own coordination, which result to this law that would have today been passed, for having, being revoked in a way. And I will certainly hold them responsible for that, and that is open, and the people of Maharashtra understand that. And let me tell you this, BJP has always agreed that this reservation for the Marathas have to be given. The Honorable Chief Minister is a Maratha. He is committed in public on the Dasera rally also by swearing upon Shivaji Maharaj Ji that this will be done and this will be committed. And let me also assure you, by committing and giving a reservation doesn't mean that taking away reservation from somebody. To give somebody more justice, we can't be unjust to somebody else. We have to ensure that justice is balanced, you see. So it is a peculiar case. It's a very unique situation where we have the state government has appointed a committee of 3 retired judges. They're looking at all the possibilities. We don't want to create a lacuna like the previous government has done, and which is why they got a slap on their face. We want to ensure that our paperwork, वो कहते हैं ना कानून के चौकट में ये कानून को यदि बिठाना है तो उसको उस तरीके से बिठाइए और दिल से काम करके उसको अंजाम तक लाइए, न कि सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए या ऑप्टिक्स जो आप पिछले 60 साल से करते आ रहे हो. कितने मराठा लीडर है महाविकास आघाड़ी में? From last 60 years, what have you guys been doing? Why have you all been playing around with the sentiments of the Marathas? You'll have tall leaders and tall names. I don't want to name in particular anyway. It was Devendra Fadnavis ji who took this bold stand and ensured that this happened. And now that this is in the court, we will request that give us a chance to, because we can't go beyond 50%. The reservation quota doesn't extend beyond, but in this case, during special circumstances, for a special situation in an extraordinary situation, we shall request the court to grant this provision and to ensure that Marathas in Maharashtra and this Bhumi are given justice. And let me tell you this, right from the CM to Devendra Fadnavis ji,
Mr. Bhamla, you do of course want to take credit for what happened during the Fadnavis regime, but of course that matter once again went up in court, and there is a roadblock of course that you're looking at. Because when you go up the reservation slab above 50%, you're taking a big risk. And that's happened in multiple states. Of course, there are a few states that have an example of over 50% reservation.
Listen. Yes, so we are working towards
go ahead,
that.
Mr. Bhamla, go ahead.
But we don't want to work in a haphazard manner so that we fall flat on our face like the previous government has done. And there is no differences of opinion. There are minor hiccups that can be easily sorted. We have a competent leader in a Devendra Fadnavis ji. Eknath ji is an experienced leader. Himself, Ajit Dada, is also a Maratha. So we will ensure. And let me tell you the results of yesterday's election, where we have seen in the Gram Panchayat results, the Bharatiya Janata Party has come number 1. It has broken all records, and this combination has given them sleepless nights, and hence that is the reason why these people are trying to pin us up and to ensure that we go helter-skelter. But they don't understand this, that it's already them who are helter-skelter. So let them first look into their own
Okay, I want to
backyard
bring in
instead of
Rohit
pinpointing
Chandavarkar
to
as well.
Bharatiya Janata
He's
Party
seen
or
all of
anyone,
these issues from
and
quite some time. Veteran journalist there. Rohit, put this in perspective really, because you have political parties, of course, when it comes to reservation, they have their own agendas as well. The politics behind it does come in. But as far as the need for reservation of a community as well, how much is it right now in Maharashtra? Put this in perspective for our viewers.
What has happened is you see these leaders now fighting on caste lines. If you are referring to the statement that Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal has made, you have to understand the background for that. I don't want to get into the overall other political part because that will take 20 minutes to explain. Just sticking to this part that you're focusing on today, the statement coming out from a cabinet minister of Maharashtra government, where he says that he will fight tooth and nail if
OBC reservation quota is touched. This is sheer and pure politics, nothing else. Chhagan Bhujbal has been in the government for a long time. He's been in the opposition for a long time. I have watched him long enough. I have interviewed him several occasions. What he's doing, I can tell you, is he's just protecting his turf as a politician, his leadership position, and assuring the community of OBCs that he stands between anybody taking away between them and anybody taking away the reservation for OBCs. Now the government is explaining again and again, including the chief minister and deputy chief ministers, both of them, that the Maratha reservation, if and when it is given, it is not going to touch the OBC quota at all, and they are trying to find a way of how to do that, and a committee has been set up, etc. On this background, you have a senior politician, making these kinds of statements, obviously to create, a plank for himself and his politics, and take a position that he's the defender of rights of the OBCs. So it's sheer politics, nothing else. I think Maharashtra state has enough problems right now. And the last thing we want is these kinds of statements coming out from senior politicians, including those who are sitting in the government. They should be focusing on the drought situation that we have in the state in more than 40 tehsils. They should be concentrating on the law and order situation, which kind of deteriorates every now and then over political agitations or caste rallies and other things. And they should be focused on more, overall development of the state and protecting the citizens, which is what I think any government, any political party, BJP or any party wants to do when they are in power. So the last thing any minister from cabinet, my suggestion is, should be doing is, making these inflammatory statements, which is basically posturing. This is political posturing, nothing more than that.
And I think political posturing is what you're saying. Absolutely, this issue, of course, I want to give some more time to each one of y'all to discuss more about this, but I want to slide into a very quick break. We'll come back on the other side and also discuss the aspect of how the BJP on one hand, of course, has been talking about, having no reservation at all based on caste. But here, what is their opinion? We'll come back on that note, slipping into a quick break. Okay, coming back to the debate that we were on, this is of course the Maratha reservation that once again has spiraled into a controversy in Maharashtra. We are debating various aspects of it. Dr. Asha, of course, who's been very patiently listening to most of the opinions and perspectives that have been put out by our panelists, still waiting to put hers. I'll open it up with her. Dr. Asha, what's the stand of the NCP in all of this?
First thing, I would like to salute Mr. Asif Bhamla. Kahi bola, retun bola in Marathi. We'll say, talk anything, talk loudly. See, he was talking about the policy paralysis of the previous government. Yes, but out of that government, 82 MLAs are now there in this government taken by these BJP people. So this policy paralysis wale, all the people were taken up, and now 9 of them are cabinet ministers from ourselves. One of that is Chhagan Bhujbal, sir. Second thing, and second most important thing about this Maratha reservation.
Could not handle them.
In 2014, to come into the power, the Devendra Fadnavis, Honorable Devendra Fadnavis, our deputy CM, and the Maharashtra leader, BJP leader, announced that he will give the reservation to the Dhangar, to Lingayat, to Muslims, and to Maratha. Though we need to do the amendment in our constitution, we will do it, but we will give the reservation. He was saying in the Dhangar's meeting, open meeting, that in the first cabinet of 2014. Second thing, and the most important thing, what this is nothing but now the inter-religion mess is too much. Now inter-caste, between two castes, between two communities, between two groups, if they have this confusion, if they do this, then the people are distracted from the basic questions of the Maharashtra, as now this our my colleague said, the price rise, the inflation, unemployment, the suicides of the farmers, everything, the drought, this everything is mess. And now we are talking on this useless subject, and for whom and on whom? Chhagan Bhujbal, just like the Kesarkar sir said, it is
This is
just
useless.
like
This is a useless subject.
Pardon, sir? This
Okay, go ahead.
Kesarkar sir
Go ahead.
said,
Go ahead. Quickly, I'll allow you to
You're saying
respond.
this is a
Let her
useless
complete.
subject.
Chhagan
It's such
Bhujbal
an
wanted
embarrassing
to,
situation.
yeah.
The
it is
BJP
bad
wants to
situation.
come in. The BJP wants to come
BJP
in.
wants to
Let's have Mr.
divide
Asif
and rule.
Bhamla. What
BJP
you
wanted to-
quickly make your point so that she can respond.
Is she
Divide and
saying
rule,
this is
divide and
a
rule.
useless situation? Please take
Yes.
your word back. I take strong
No.
objection. How can you say this is a useless situation?
This
What
is
do you
the
mean the Maratha
situation
reservation is a
where
useless situation?
the-
You have shown your true color
you are talking wrong.
on national
I said
network.
the minister
You
sitting
said
in the
it.
cabinet,
You rewind
hearing
and
to
show
the
it to
CM
her.
and deputy CM, saying, coming out
You
and
rewind
saying,
this.
this was the case and
Please
this was not the
apologize.
case. What he was
You
doing.
please apologize. We
See,
will not hear you.
Okay, let's hear her out about what she was
Mr.
referring to.
Deepak,
What she was
tell her
referring
this
to
is
as a useless situation.
The
Okay, let me get some clarity as to what she was referring to. Dr. Asha, the BJP is saying that, you're talking about the reservation aspect, referring to it as a useless situation. What were you actually referring to here? Are you talking about the reservation or this particular statement?
No. I said
Go
about the cabinet minister sitting in the cabinet, listening to the CM and deputy CM, coming out and talking whatever he wanted. This is useless situation of the ministers. He is listening inside that the reservation will be given separately, and still coming out, he is saying that the reservation is being given from OBC. What he was doing inside the cabinet. This is useless situation.
Firstly,
Not
why
about
don't you
the-
apologize for calling this Maratha reservation issue a useless issue?
If you are saying the
आप
Bhujbal said
जनता
was
के
correct,
सामने माफी
yes, I
मांगिए।
apologize.
आपने अपने
But I
पार्टी
said
का
the
इंटेंशन
minister-
क्लियर कर दिया आज।
Minister sitting inside the cabinet,
Yes, apologize
listening
loudly.
and coming out and
Because
saying anything.
this is not
This
a
is
useless issue.
And
Honorable Sharad
if you
Pawar
say-
ji is the biggest Maratha. Honorable
are
Sharad
saying-
Pawar ji is the biggest Maratha. And you are
You
saying
are
this is
missing-
useless?
You are
I think
misguiding
you will be
the
suspended from the
listeners.
party if
You are
Mr. Pawar
misguiding
hears
the
this.
listeners. You are misguiding the listeners. I
You
was
have
saying
said
about
this is a
your
useless
minister.
situation. Please
If he
rewind.
is correct,
My
if he
request
is
is you
correct,
can rewind this debate and show it to her.
Okay, let's not resort.
you are-
Let's not
if
resort
your
to just
minister
screaming.
is
Let's.
says that
Okay,
this is useless.
Mr. Asif Bhamla, I'll come to you. I want you.
We have a lot of
Let's have you
respect
rebut
for
point to
Mr.
point to
Sharad
what she
Pawar.
said, because she
Tomorrow if
clarified
he
as to what she was trying to really make a point with.
Tomorrow if he
You go
hears
ahead.
this,
You go ahead, Mr. Bhamla. You go ahead.
आपको suspend किया
if
जाएगा
he is
पार्टी
saying
से।
his minister was
आशा जी
correct,
को suspend
then
किया
what
जाएगा
he said?
NCP से।
The cabinet
She is talking
meeting-
about the
Pawar
statements
साहब ने
coming
ये
in
बात
from the
सुनी तो।
minister. That is what she claims. Okay, but I'll give you a minute to quickly come in, and then I want to go to the others as well.
Oh,
one.
so now she's changing it. Very good. Very good.
Can I-
That's
can I-
called changing colors in a span
No,
of 3 minutes.
I'm not changing color. I'm not changing color. Color changing is
What
Chhagan
can you?
Bhujbal. He was put
I
forward by
think your
Bala
party,
Saheb. Then he
your
came to
party
Chhagan
Okay,
Bhujbal.
leader-
okay. I have
Then
little time
your
left, so
Pawar
I want to
sahab
really
would
come back
have
to the
told
core
Maratha.
issue here.
Would suspend you.
Color changing are you people.
Mr. Hegde, I'll come to you. Mr. Hegde, I'll come to you. Now, how do you really not see politics in all of this? While, of course, you
Arey,
do
ye
give hope to the
statement aap
Marathi
NCP ko bhejiye.
population about, talking about the reservation time and again. On the other, you have your own cabinet minister who comes out and makes a statement looking at his own caste and how they could really help him, or probably, becoming the face of that particular caste and saying that you cannot add Marathas to the OBCs. On the other, you have the BJP, of course, where some of the leaders have spoken about how reservation in itself based on caste is not probably a progressive thought. And they have been talking about how EWS is something that should be given prominence in the future. How do you really read all of this and at this point in time look at how the future is going to be as far as this reservation issue is concerned?
Deepak, firstly, as a responsible spokesperson of the coalition, I cannot spell out all the points, but I think my friend Rohit has done it already. So, I cannot speak as a responsible spokesperson of the coalition, I cannot speak with the same freedom that Rohit has just done. Secondly, let me address the issues of both the UBT and the NCP spokespersons. The UBT spokesperson said that there is a policy paralysis. I think both the NCP spokesperson and the UBT spokesperson should read the book written by Sharad Pawar Saab, Lok Majh Sangati, where he specifically said that it is Uddhavji who created the policy paralysis in the last Mahavikas Agadi government. That was a government which sat at home and did not work from home. And Uddhavji in 2.5 years went to the Mantralaya for 2 hours. And therefore, since the government did not work, they did not take any stand on whether industry or whether Maratha reservation. It was during their regime that the Maratha reservation failed in the Honorable Supreme Court. And today our government is filing a petition, the curative petition, in the Supreme Court with all the facts and the data. Like Mr. Asif Bhamla said, we have got a 3-member 3-judge committee, and they will collect not only the data of the Marathas, but also a backward class commission, which is going to look into the socio and the educational backwardness of the Maratha, and even that data will be presented to the Honorable Supreme Court. So we are totally, positive that we will get the reservation for the Marathas. We have been hearing these allegations for the last 1.5 years that the government is there 1 year, 2 months. Every day we are facing allegations. But this is the government which is committed to the Marathas. It is committed to all sections of society. It is committed to the people of Maharashtra. We are working for the progress, prosperity, of the people of Maharashtra, and we want to give them development and the best possible results. So I would also request the ministers in the cabinet not to bring out such statements where you create mislead people. Rohit was very right in the word posturing which he used, which I cannot use very openly. But I must tell you that we are committed to the Marathas, and our government is going to do our best for the Marathas. And we will see that OBCs and other sections of society are not going to be disturbed by what we want to do. Our main intention is to work positively, and the results are showing. The Shiv Sena, BJP, and the NCP coalition.
But at this point in time, after a statement like this is being made, this seems like more of a damage control mode, Mr. Hegde.
No, not at all.
Because it's your own minister who's making these sort of statements.
See,
a statement made by the NCP spokesperson.
Mr. Bhujbal has been making statements for the OBCs from the beginning. He's been a OBC leader also, and he's a senior leader of the cabinet, and we will speak to him. And I don't think there will be a problem in this issue. Like we have solved bigger issues in the past 1 year. We have spoken to Manoj Jarange Patil ji. We've sorted the issue. And this is a government which is committed. In the last 1 year, the steps which we have taken, whether it's appointing a committee of judges, whether it's issuing Kumbhi certificates, whether it's appointing a backward class commission, no government has done till now. And Eknath Shinde ji is committed to the people of Maharashtra. He himself is a Maratha, and he himself is a well-meaning CM.
Okay, the government says they're committed towards the Marathas and they will work towards it. Somewhere also saying that, some of the ministers will have to watch what they say. We'll really have to see whether they can actually rein in some of the ministers and these sort of loose talks that probably the government itself isn't very happy with. I thank all our panelists. I'm sorry if we couldn't give you enough time because we were crunched, but of course we covered a variety of aspects and perspectives so that our viewers, of course, could get a sense of what's exactly happening as far as this particular issue is concerned. With that, we're slipping into a very quick break. On the other side, more news and updates coming up. Don't go anywhere.